The pioneers were moving west. They were doing their best to make it as normal as experience as possible. So they were normal people, and they were just in a different situation than you and I are in. But they had normal emotions. They got angry, they got frustrated, they were happy, they were joyful, and they also dated along the trail, and they had crushes along the trail, and men would bring wildflowers to girls to try to woo them or court them and date them. And one particular story that happened along the trail, there were two people that were dating, and the man decided he wanted to ask this wonderful girl to marry him, and she was the love of his life. So he went to the father of the woman that he was courting and dating and asked for her hand in marriage, and the father said, no, you cannot have her hand in marriage because you do not have a diamond to give her. And so walking back to his campsite, he was very downtrodden and very sad, and as he was looking down on the road, he found a nail, and with that nail he decided to bend it into a ring which looks like this. And he went back to the father and said, ha, I do have a ring to give her. And the father was so impressed with his ingenuity of finding a ring for his daughter that he allowed the marriage to go forth and gave him his blessing. And so then he went to the love of his life and he proposed with this ring. And this ring is now called a prairie diamond because he found it along the prairie. And he promised his bride that when they got to Utah and settled, that he would save enough money to buy her a real diamond. Well, they got to Utah, they settled, he saved his money and saved his money, and he finally came to her and said, I have enough money to buy you a real diamond. And she said, no, I like my prairie diamond. Do not spend our money on a diamond. I love my prairie diamond and I will keep it forever. So that is a nice little love story from the Pioneer Trail, and they tried to make their lives as normal as possible. These were real people, and they had the same emotions as we did, and they loved each other, and they got married, and they courted, and they dated. They had crushes. They played games along the trail. They would race each other. They would find beautiful rocks, and they would pick those up, and they would play games like marbles along the trail as well with rocks. They would also play something called Andy-I-Over, and they would throw a ball or sometimes rocks over wagons, and they would catch it, and the other team on the other side, if they caught it so many times, they would run to the other side and they would try to tag the other team. And people still play that today. And I know that I grew up playing it, and my nieces and nephews still play it, and we play it with a ball over the house. So we still play those games. Those have been passed on from generation, generation, generation. But these people were real, and sometimes we forget that they were real people because they lived so long ago. They're just stories, but they're actually real people. So that's the story of the prairie diamond. There you go.